A senior NATO official has warned there is a real prospect of Russia causing substantial casualties with its campaign of unconventional attacks. NATO has announced it will step up patrols in the Baltic Sea after a ship linked to Russia was suspected of damaging an undersea cable between Finland and Estonia.
The brutality of Russia's war in Ukraine is all too clear. But Moscow is also accused of waging a far more covert campaign of attacks against NATO countries. It means while life across much of the rest of Europe, the US and Canada may seem peaceful on the surface, Western officials warn of a growing hidden threat. And they say it's not only from cyber attacks and online disinformation.
What's also new is the increase in sabotage and assassination plots, arson, damage to infrastructure.
He heads a team updating a NATO strategy to track and deter what's known as hybrid warfare. He says such attacks linked to Russia have risen since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
If you're only strictly in the kinetic attack, we can definitely count dozens up to 100, for sure. We're in a little bit of a boiling frog situation. We are seeing now what would have been utterly unacceptable 5 years ago. But we've kind of gotten used to a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and that's very dangerous. So we want to establish a baseline now, then prevent escalation, manage it if it happens, but also work to de-escalate, not to where we are now, but to where we were years ago.
Are you worried that there could be a moment, a threshold will be crossed and actually NATO will be forced to go to war with Russia over this kind of sub-threshold attack?
There is a real prospect of one of these attacks causing substantial numbers of casualties or very substantial economic damage. And then what we don't want is to be in a situation where we have not thought through what we do next.
But experts say not all NATO allies take the threat of hybrid warfare as seriously as others.
It is easy to look away, also because a lot of this aggression takes place away from daily life. Even though it affects daily life, we don't see it. It's not like a bomb falling into central London.
She says the alliance should define a new threshold for hybrid attacks and tell Russia that breaching it will be met by an allied response.
What's the danger if NATO countries don't tackle this threat?
The danger is that we see death by 1,000 cuts in our societies, that various things start malfunctioning or being disrupted, and people lose faith in our way of life, and then we are really in trouble.
While Russia denies any involvement in hybrid hostilities against NATO, officials here at the alliance's headquarters expect a further increase in attacks. A clear sign they've not yet worked out how best to deter or counter this murky threat. Deborah Haynes, Sky News.